tonight on Sunday Night Primetime. San Francisco looks for their first sweep of Seattle since 2011. Can the Seahawks avoid the broom? We'll find out next on EA Sports.
It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The 49er offense coming out here for the first time, led by their quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo, 5th season with the 49ers, 8th overall in the National Football League.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense ready to go here for the first time, and leading them is the 7-time Pro Bowler in his 10th year now in the NFL, Russell Wilson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 16 carries, 64 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
Now a throw here to his running back. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 3rd down. Here's Wilson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Niners will go on offense First and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 2nd and 9. Garoppolo. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago, their second straight victory.
Well, they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along, and from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, deep.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Nick Bosa racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's complete to the tight end, Werner. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
I like the thought process, I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man, because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline, and they don't get the yards after the catch.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. The kick by Gold is good, and the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon, and think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board. Let's go.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Now a dump off here complete, and they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They run it with Carson. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here, as they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard. Here's Carson. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
On 1st down, Carson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. Got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Wilson. He lets it fly from Lockett. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And the 49ers are going to have it here just past the 25. CD, he tried to kind of lob that one in there. It looked pretty going through the air. The problem was it was in the air a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's a tough one because for that type of a route and what he tried to do and needed to do, he had to put a little air under it, and the defender was actually able to take advantage of it because it hung up there just long enough for him to get there and take it away.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. He'll look to Mostert to start things out. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. Got a man, that's Richie James. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he's going to have a Niners 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40. Now remember, these two teams met earlier in the year in Santa Clara with the Niners coming out on top. So a win here in Seattle, tough as that may be, would give them the season sweep.
Here we go.
They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo taking a shot for Samuel. Touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. You're not going to hear Jimmy Garoppolo mentioned among the strongest arms in the league, but that doesn't mean he can't beat you with a long one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Gold with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. To throw is Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. Just a gain of a couple there. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run the ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds. But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that got you It can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Now Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage excellent there downfield, and it leads to a 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. A big play there on the catch and run. I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield.
Yeah, we've seen a few moments like this in the first half already from this defense. You know you're going to give up some catches, but it's what they do after the catch that's really been hurting them. And it does again right there.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Mostert. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Raheem Mostert with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. You know, their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true, because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 39. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll find Eskridge here complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's Wilson. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now, remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in. Wilson will throw again. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. D4 in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So 4th down, Wilson goes to the sidelines, and on comes Jason Myers for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of the team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Pretty good results here on the 1st down run as he takes us forward for about 6. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. We continue on with a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Niners. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Bucs ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. To throw is Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. James has got it, complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. On 2nd down, Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? You just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
And he'll go down, brought down on the 20-yard line. L.J. Collier in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Garoppolo gets this one to Juszczyk. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And there are really very few fullbacks in the NFL today that get used as weapons in the passing game. But Kyle Juszczyk, definitely one of them. Part of the reason he's been a Pro Bowler 5 years in a row.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And Gold is able to put it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So just 3 points there, but that important in the grand scheme of things is it's now a 3-score lead.
And to now, the other guys haven't shown that they can do anything offensively, so just take the points, keep adding that cushion, and let your defense win you the football game.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On first down, Carson. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. They go back to Carson here on 2nd. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drip back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And this will go to Carson out wide. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's taken in by Eskridge, complete. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Open man is Eskridge. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Again, Wilson. And this is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. And it's intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. There he goes, left side. The 20. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Gold with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And that last pick 6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the 4th quarter. They need points quickly. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. From midfield now, here's Wilson. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Throw left side complete. That's Hart. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
I'm going back to you.
To throw again is Wilson. He'll check that down to Carson. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make it a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Maurice Hurst, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Now it's Carson. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And that is caught, but the bank judge right there to say incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. First man through, it's the fullback Juszczyk. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Wilson will throw again. He lets it fly for Lockett. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Wilson going to throw for it. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. But still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And it's the 49ers who recover it, and that ought to just about do it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And they'll indeed take a knee. So the victory here for San Francisco. And say what you want about Lumen Field here in Seattle, but for my money, this is the loudest and most difficult place to win in the league when you're on the road.
It's very hard. The fan support, off the charts. The way that they make noise and understand when to make noise, they understand the game as well as anyone. And how about what we get in our media packets when we start preparing for the game? They have it in their own stuff, right? The number of offsides penalties, false start penalties that they draw against the opposing team because of that fan support. And last but not least, they designed the stadium to keep the noise in, and it works.
But not in this one. They were able to somehow come in here and get that victory. So for the Niners,